Thank you. Mr. Kind, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you I give you great credit for being here today. The President, in his first formal budget submitted to the American people, conveniently released it during a week when he's out of the country. So in my mind, he either owes you a great apology or combat pay for coming up here and defending that proposal today. And there are problems with it. Not only was it dead on arrival by the time it here, it was dead before arrival. And that's why so many members on both sides of the aisle are running from it. And I represent a large rural district in Wisconsin. There's not much to like in the President's budget proposal for rural Wisconsin. It guts funding for the Rural Economic Development Grant Program, guts funding for the Farm Service Administration offices and technical assistance they provide family farmers. It guts the funding for USDA broadband extension programs in rural America. The $900 billion that the administration is adopting in Medicaid cuts will put our rural hospitals in great jeopardy, our Badger Care and senior care programs in Wisconsin. Other than that, what's not to like for rural America? It just seems like a missed opportunity with the type of economic growth and the partnership that rural America is looking for the federal government today. But I also appreciate that you and many of us are interested in taking a run at the code for the first time in 30 years. And yet one of the linchpins of what's being discussed around here, the border adjustment tax, you've had some concerns about. In fact, you were recently quoted the other day, and I quote you, one of the problems with the border adjustment tax is that it doesn't create a level playing field. It has very different impacts on different companies. It has the potential to pass on significant costs to the consumer. It has the potential of moving the currencies, end quote. Would you care to amplify or express any of the concerns and whether there's things that can be addressed as we're working on tax reform?
I think there's things that can be addressed to lighten those changes, and those are the types of things Chairman Brady is working on. And again, I think the most important issue is that we share common goals of making the business tax system competitive, middle-income tax cut, and simplifying personal taxes, and doing all these in a way that will create economic growth.
Yeah. And finally, as Treasury Secretary, you're going to play an instrumental role in getting the President's trade agenda back on track. Don't give up on it, and don't give up on walking away from multilateral agreements as well. I don't know if you caught the New York Times article about Harley, one of our iconic companies in Wisconsin, setting up a factory in Thailand now. And the main reason they're doing it is because of the failure of TPP from moving forward and the 60% tariff that our bikes are facing as we're trying to export it into the Asian market, forcing them then to move a factory into Thailand to take advantage of the ASEAN markets and the lower tariffs that they're going to be able to gain market access. This is one of the consequences of walking away from a robust trade agreement where we need to be at the table, establishing the rules and trying to level the playing field for our workers, our farmers, and our businesses back home. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Kind.